I had a psychic lady who like pulled me aside and she said, Natalie, you've come down to earth to help with ascension. You have 120 angels that are working with you, and it all starts with yoga. And so when she said that to me, I opened up and I just started to hear and feel them deeper and stronger. And they don't come through as different voices. It's one voice, it's one frequency.
Welcome to the Awaken Magazine podcast, where influential conscious leaders come to share the real stories behind their spiritual journey and how they're helping others awaken to love. I'm your host, David Trotter, and today I'm excited to introduce you to Natalie Namaste. She's an intuitive guide, a Reiki Master Teacher, and she channels for 120 angelic beings of light. Now, in this conversation, Natalie takes us back to her childhood and explains how she began to see energy and light from a very early age. She also shares with us a dramatic story of when she contracted cerebral malaria in Indonesia and experienced a near death. Very powerful story. And then she shares with us how she began to channel for 120 angels. And I ask her, would you be willing to share a message? And of course, the message is so beautiful and so full of light, you're really going to be impacted by it. And we hear all about her retreats, her online courses, and her Reiki Master training. If you enjoy conversations like this that go beyond the surface of spirituality, mindfulness, consciousness, I want to ask you to subscribe. Encourage you to subscribe to the Awaken Magazine podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. Click subscribe, leave a rating or a review, or better yet, share it with a friend. Tell somebody about this amazing conversation. All right, let's dive in to my interview with Natalie Namaste. Natalie, thank you so much for taking time to connect with us today. It's great to see you.
Oh, it's so wonderful to be here.
Yeah, I am curious because of your deep connection to source consciousness, channeling of the angels, but also your mindfulness of what's going on in our world. I'm curious from your perspective, what do you sense is unfolding on our planet right now with all the things that we see going on?
We are going through, it feels like a big birthing canal. And what the angels are showing me, it's the metamorphosis. It was always part of the plan. And the angels often tell me, they're like, Natalie, everyone who's on earth right now responded to the call of Mother Earth's vibration. Everyone's meant to be here. And this is such a great time for awakening, for, you know, if you're having a dream and it's just a nice lovely dream and you wake up in the morning and you feel good, but you quickly forget the dream. But when you're having a nightmare or when things are intense in the dream, when there's a lot of craziness happening, you actually make yourself wake up from the dream. And that's what the angels are saying is what we're doing here on earth right now. So many of us have thought that we are our constant thoughts, and we've thought that we thought that we're the character. Like I'm just Natalie. I'm a stream of thoughts and I have feelings, but we're bigger than that. We are that which is behind the character. We are that which is before the character's even born. We are consciousness. We are the awareness. And so what's happening on our earth right now is that we have this opportunity to remember that which we truly are. And if everything was just lovely and beautiful, we wouldn't need to wake up. We wouldn't need to ask questions about who are we and what's really happening. And so we're going through a period where the polarity is really strong. The dark, the shadow, which we all have as well. Our mind criticizes or judges ourselves, and we have to recognize that. We have to recognize, how is our mind speaking to us? Where is our mind restricting us or blocking us from being the expanded infinite light that we truly are, having a human experience? And so I feel like this is an incredible time to be alive because we've got a lot of angels coming in. We've got a lot of light coming in to support us during this time of transition and change. And the old patterns have to change. The old systems are breaking down and being broken through because that's not the vibration what we want to live in the future. We don't want to base our future off the conditionings that we are programmed in from our past. And so we're dissolving those conditionings, we're questioning our beliefs, and we're expanding our mind, and we're coming more and more into the heart. And I can feel that so many people are coming together in community and realizing how beautiful they are and remembering and coming back into the heart and leading from love. And that is what is happening on earth. So we're going through the birthing canal. We're shedding all the layers that no longer serve us. And we're coming into a beautiful expanded state of leading from love. And, we also see it here in this third dimensional world in our earth. She's going through it with us. She's a mirror of what's happening inside. So, for example, we've got a lot of seismic activity. We've got a lot of volcanoes erupting, a lot of that where we've held ourselves back and kept ourselves small, we can't do that anymore. It's kind of exploding out of us. We're like, enough is enough. And that's happening with the earth as well. The same as the sun. There are so many more solar flares. And that is a reminder of our power, that we are the light, and that we need to release and let go of that no longer serves us. Just like the sun just lets go of whatever doesn't serve us, it sends the flares out. It releases with ease, just like a tree outside. It doesn't cling to that leaf that's dead. The leaf is dead, the leaf falls to the ground, and then it nourishes the earth. So when we let go of that which we've been clinging on to, it can bring us and open us up to the light that we are, and we can really reconnect to the soul that we are and live from that space. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm feeling is happening on earth.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love to hear people's stories of awakening to consciousness, mindfulness, spirituality. And maybe if you could take us back to your childhood, where you grew up. I notice a slight accent. Um, I always say I have the accent now. So I notice that I have a slight accent when I'm talking to you. And so I'm curious where you grew up and how you began to experience things beyond your five senses, even at an early age. Maybe if you could take us through that.
Oh yes. So I was born in South Africa, and I spent my first 20 odd years there. And um, I feel like I had this knowing inside that we're so much more than just the physical. And so I questioned it. And I have a memory from when I was 5 or 6 years old, sitting in the back of my mom's car, looking out the window at all the objects, the things, the people, the buildings. And I asked the question, I said, if there isn't all of this, what is there? And then I had a very sensory experience. Like it went dark and felt light at the same time. It felt very like a cocoon of love, but expansive at the same time. It felt full and empty. It felt spacious. And I feel like that feeling has created such a deep knowing inside of me that I've just kept asking and kept wanting to go deeper and deeper. And so what started to happen was I started channeling extreme amounts of light into the top of my head, down through my body, coming out of my hands, my eyes, my heart. And I knew that this light can heal people and help people to remember the light that they are. So I started just sending it to people, to plants, to animals. And I told my mom about it, and she was very supportive.
How old were you when this began to happen?
Oh, I was young. I don't know. I feel like the message that's coming through from the angels is always, always
And so your mom was supportive, though.
yes and no. So here's the interesting part, because she's bipolar. So there's moments where she's like, let's pray together and before we go to sleep, and let's connect to the angels and let's hear what you've got to say. And then other moments she's like, this is the work of the devil, and what
Mm,
this is, fear and scary. And so I feel like I chose my mom from before I was born. I feel, and my dad as well. My dad's also been very loving and accepting of my whole journey and who I am. And I feel like with my mom, it helped me to read energy, because I needed to sense and feel if I'm safe, or what kind of mood she's in, or what I'm going to experience that moment. And
mhm,
so that helped me to really tune into frequencies and where people are at. So I have a very strong ability of being able to feel what other people feel. Like
mhm,
I can actually feel physical symptoms in my body of what they feel. And then what also started happening, I was working in a coffee shop in a shopping mall. And so this is like in like 16, 17 years old, and watching people walking past and just seeing all these colors and lights, and a lot of people have golden around them, and being fascinated with it. And then I was reading spiritual books, and I'd be reading the book, and then the pages would turn to energy, and I'd be looking around, and everything in the room started to turn into energy. And just more and more fascinating things started happening. Like I remember this one day I was studying marketing. And so I had my desk, which was full of my study books and a big old clunky computer. I mean, this is over 20 years ago. So, and a large mirror, like a length mirror. And I'm sitting on the floor, and I'm looking towards the wall, and I'm blow drying my hair. Next minute, the mirror and this little dictionary flew and landed next to me, not breaking. And I was just like, "Oh, it's windy." And my roommate, she came running and she said, "What was that?" She said, and I was like, "Well, maybe the wind." She's like, "Natalie, that's not the wind." And I was like, "Oh, you're right." I was becoming so used to having these spiritual experiences, and then I got the message coming through: look into the mirror, look into your eyes, look into your soul. And I looked, and I could really sense and feel that which is behind the body, that which is behind the character of Natalie. Phew. And then the message was, open the dictionary to whatever page is the first page. And I opened it, and the words were hush hush, which is stop being in the thinking all the time. Just be in the stillness.
mm, mhm.
Yeah.
Amazing. How did you intentionally cultivate these gifts over the next years as those things were kind of coming and happening? What was your intentional path? And then ultimately, what led you to feel called to serve people with these gifts in more of a full time capacity?
So I was reminded quite recently by a friend who said, Natalie, you've always known that you're a healer and a teacher, and you've come to help. And so um, I, I knew in my teens that this light that comes through me can help, and that the messages I pick up can help. And I also channel loved ones who have passed. So I've been accessing a lot that can really provide peace for people. And so as these gifts were like really coming on strong, I mean, I would be out and about, and I could just sense and pick up things about other people. And I knew that it's not my business to be reading people's energy. I wanted to, yeah, I just wanted to be supported and like helped to ground in my gifts in a good, healthy way. So when I was 18, I went through my first heartache. I'd been in a relationship for 3 years, and so when me and that partner broke up, I was like, this is my time. I need to find my teacher. I need to evolve this healing and heal myself. And so I found a wonderful teacher, and um, while we were doing the course, it was holistic healing. So reading the auras, working with energy centers, chakras, and so we had to work in the aura and on the body, and pick up information. I was asked to work by the client's feet. Now she had gone gangrene from one leg down, so it had been amputated. So I was working one hand in the energy field and one hand like near her foot. And then I got this strong, clear message that if she doesn't stand on her own 2 feet, in her relationship, she's going to go gangrene in the other leg. So I told my teacher, and my teacher and me and the client all sat together, and more information came through, and I could give her real, like, step-by-step guidance on how to create healthy boundaries and to navigate through the relationship she was in. I was only 18, so these messages were very powerful. And then that teacher, she could see that I was gifted, and she took me under her wing, and she trained me in developing my psychic abilities, how to be present and grounded, and how to also, like, close down and not always be picking up the information. And so with that, I just flourished. And then I think I was about 23. I went to go live in London and England, and I was working as a marketing executive at Wembley Arena, which was so much fun. Meeting like Kylie Minogue, and going and watching loads of concerts and just loving it. And my marketing manager, she was a Reiki Master Teacher. And so I trained in Reiki level 1 and then level 2. And once I got a little bit too cold living in England. So I left there and I went to Indonesia for a holiday, and then to move to Thailand. And I then trained in Indonesia in Reiki Masters. And just after I did that training, I had a very intense near-death experience. Yeah, where I was in hospital for about 2.5 weeks. There's 5 types of malaria. I got the cerebral one, the one that kills you. So I got airlifted to Singapore, and I was in and out of my body, and I went back home to the angels, and I learned how to heal my body, because all my organs were packing up. Like, the doctors were telling my parents to come over and say goodbye to me. And the angels, I spent this time with the angels, and they showed me how to use frequency, light, and color to heal the body. And I walked out of that hospital completely healed, and nothing wrong with my brain or my organs that were dying. So completely healed. And so that was just another massive reaffirming of how powerful we are, and that I knew that I needed to teach and share and help others too, because if I could heal myself, anyone can. And we got to share this with others, and also for me to bridge the angelic realm with people as well.
Amazing, amazing. What was that like for you? And I don't know if that happened in that particular season, but I'm always curious to ask those who are spiritual guides and healers about that transition from kind of day job to investing all of your time in this healing work. And, we do live in this three-dimensional reality where there does need to be a financial component to allow you to live. What was that transition like for you? Was it smooth and easy and seamless, or was it a little challenging?
Hmm. Actually, it was smooth for me, because what I was doing from the moment I started working, like as a waitress, and then all the other different roles that I did after that, I always was doing healing. I was always offering
Mhm.
sessions just for free, or just so that I could keep that connection, and enjoy learning and growing myself. So that's many, many years where I would do different courses and trainings and develop my connection, and then offer my services always. And so after I lived in Thailand, I went and I worked on super yachts, living on the ocean and working for billionaires. And there I managed to infuse the magic of Reiki for royalty and celebrities, and bring it all to them. And it was such a beautiful bringing of two worlds together. And so I was earning my money from my, like, being of service through my 3D world, like being a chief stewardess on a boat, and then but still infusing the magic of me, and being a healer. And so there was this moment when I was sitting on the boat in the bridge. We were in Mexico, and I loved the boat. I loved the crew. I loved the work. But I just got this message. It is time now. You've got to leave. You've got to go to Costa Rica, get your yoga teacher training. It's now time to step into this role full time. And I went to my captain and I said, I got to do this. And he said, you know, Natalie, when you did that Vipassana, the 10-day silent retreat, and you came back to us, I noticed the change in you and I knew this was coming. And he was super supportive. I mean, the reason I got that job was because, first of all, he liked me, but second of all, part of the interview was that I gave him a Reiki session. So he supported me, and then it just happened. So I left the the third dimensional way of earning money, that job, and I just took 2 years to just do, to allow space for the creativity to flow through me. Like, I was writing retreats and workshops and courses, and I was traveling, and I started teaching yoga wherever I was going and giving more sessions to people, and then started to ask for an energy exchange, and getting like money here and there. And so um I wasn't putting pressure on myself. I especially gave myself these 2 years to find my feet with it. And I'd saved money for that. And then my husband and I were traveling Central America, and we came here to Nicaragua, and we found this beautiful hotel called Hotel Brio, and we were just like, this is it. We're going to be here. So we bought the space, and there I started to I started to let people in the neighborhood know you can come and have sessions with me, and word of mouth just spread, and then COVID happened, and so at that time I was kind of teaching yoga, doing some workshops, and all in person. All of that was in person. I was getting very busy in person.
In
Then
Nicaragua.
in Nicaragua, yeah.
Mhm.
And then the angel said to me, Natalie, go and lie in a hammock for a week because you're about to get very busy. And I was like, well, I'm already busy. But then, of course, COVID happened, so I couldn't do anything in person. So I went and I lay in a hammock. And on like day 5, I remember writing to my sister-in-law in the morning. I was like, hey, Anna, I'm loving this. I don't think I'm going to want to start something too soon. I'm not ready. By that evening, I messaged her and I'm like, "Oh, I just got this strong feeling and welling up from my soul that it's time." And I just sent a message to all the clients that I'd been seeing in person, and they're booking me for online sessions. And there it just went. It's flowed with ease from there and there, because I wasn't I wasn't responding to my lower mind pushing me. I was giving space for my soul to guide me each step of the way. And I feel like that has really brought me to where I am now. And it's amazing. Like, I have my courses, I have like 50, 60 people signing up. It's grown from when I used to have like 2 or 3. And so it's just so heart led and so divine.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I'm curious around your name, Natalie Namaste, and I don't know if that's your legal name, if you changed it, or if that's your brand online. I'm curious about. I know a lot of people know the meaning of Namaste, but I would love for you to remind us. And why did you choose this name as the way that you would present yourself to the world? Why is that meaningful to you?
Yeah. Thank you for asking such deep questions. I'm really loving this conversation. And this is a beautiful one to explore, because um so I got married, and I could I had to apply to the German embassy. So my ancestors are German. And so I had to apply in order to change my surname to my husband's surname. But meanwhile, while they hadn't responded, we'd already left the country to go traveling. And so while we were traveling, I just I was just like, well, my my previous surname and my future surname, I love them both, but there's something else. And there it just came, it just arrived. And actually, years and years before, I'd created a website called Namaste Light. And and so Namaste had always been a part of me. And it means the light in me truly sees and honors the light in you. And, part of my gift is that I can hear, see, and feel what people are going through. I can understand the depth of their soul, which means that I really do see people and meet them where they're at. And so that is my vibration. And so I just started to I just stopped using my old surname, and I was just like, I'm Natalie Namaste. And then one day I did something interesting. I looked at the numerology of it. So Natalie equals the number of 8, which is infinity. And then you put Natalie with Namaste, and it also equals 8. So, and that number is my sole purpose, that I'm here to infinitely expand and to help those that are also looking for this experience, to feel that infinite expansion and come back home to consciousness while we're in a body. And so I've just gone with it, and it's become me. And over time, I've even signed my certificates with Natalie Namaste, and then it's just become my whole brand. It's my vibration.
Beautiful, beautiful. You have studied and integrated a lot of different modalities in your work. It's a long list. Oftentimes, people who have been doing this work for quite some time, it's like, well, I think I need to add this modality, and let's add this one, and they all kind of blend together and are used in a beautiful way. But Reiki is a major emphasis for you in terms of you creating your own Reiki courses and certifications. So I'm curious how Reiki has personally impacted your life, why it is so important to you, and then how you utilize Reiki to help others as well.
Yeah. So thank you actually for pointing that out, because um, I didn't even like realize how deeply ingrained it's part of me. It's my essence. And what Reiki is Rei is universal and Ki is energy, and it's the divine energy and light that's everywhere. It's the universal energy. And so because it's made such a huge difference in my life, I have just I've seen how I've managed to heal myself from depression. I've seen how it's helped so many others. Just witnessing Reiki change people's lives, I'm like, wow, this is one of the most greatest tools, because it's so loving, and um, it can. And so from there, I I channeled all my own Reiki manuals and courses, and I feel like my courses, they're not just it's not just a training in Reiki. You're not just getting certified in Reiki. It's a deep inner dive to connect to your soul. It's I call it a spiritual awakening or coming home to yourself, so that I can, because I channel the angels, and I can really help my students to to know themselves from the soul level. It's it's something very sacred, and I love being able to share it. So it's evolved by itself. I haven't kind of thought about it, to be honest. I've kind of it's just being created through me. And even just the other day, I was looking, I was like, wow, I've even created a Reiki hub where anyone who's trained in Reiki, whether it's with me or someone else, we meet every month for 2 hours, and I'll channel answers and like mentorship and support them, like taking the step into being in their power of the light that they are. And it's a big, beautiful group. And I'm kind of just like, wow, I'm constantly amazed, because I'm not running with ego here. I do not know what's going to come next. I really don't. I'm just giving space to allow what arises. And often I have people email me, or I'll have a student say, "Hey Natalie, could you create this for us?" And then I'll feel it out, and then if it feels right, I'll create a group or a workshop or something like that.
Hmm. Thank you. You've mentioned that you channel angels, and I have read that specifically 120 angels. And so I'm curious how you got connected to those angels. Why is it 120, do you sense? How do you channel them? What is their purpose in working through you? Just walk us through that.
Yeah. So when I was around that time, 16, 17, 18, when I was working in that coffee shop, I had a psychic lady who like pulled me aside, and she said, Natalie, you've come down to earth to help with ascension. You have 120 angels that are working with you, and it all starts with yoga, which is quite fascinating, because um, I left the yachting world to go and train in yoga, and then everything else blossomed. And I had forgotten that she'd told me that, but I'd never forgotten the 120 angels. And so when she said that to me, I opened up and I just started to hear and feel them deeper and stronger. And they don't come through as different voices. It's one voice, it's one frequency. And I understand now why it's 120, because one is the vibration of oneness. It's also the energy of the masculine. Two is the polarity. We are here in a dual experience. And the zero is the feminine, which also represents the ever flowing continuation of life. There is no end, there is no beginning. It's soul, light, energy, vibration, changing form and experience. And so 120 angels brings in everything, the masculine, the feminine, the continuation, and being here in the duality, bridging them with us here. And so they come through. I hear frequency changes when they enter into the space. I'll interpret what they're saying and speak and tell my clients or my students or on podcasts and say the angels are saying this, or they'll channel through me directly, and then they'll be speaking the words through me, and then after they've channeled through me, I'm vibrating so much heat, energy, light, tingling, and then it takes a little moment to just adjust to being Natalie as my lower mind comes back in. So yeah, and they've come through with a very high frequency light. So it's not that just the words and the wisdom that channel through me, but also the energy, and people can feel it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What do you sense their mission is in working through you? Like, what have they told you, or what is that knowingness inside of you? And, and I'm also curious about, like, why angels. It's not that you had this choice, but I'm curious, like, why angels versus your higher self or a certain ascended master or a certain entity. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always curious why certain entities are attracted to certain channels. Do you have a sense of that?
Yeah, my sense is that I vibrate on a higher dimension when I'm not in the physical form. And in that dimension, I am an angel. So many people say to me, "Oh, Natalie, you're an earth angel. You're an angel." Being an angel is the qualities that angels have. So that I have deep compassion and love and sensing and feeling what people are going through. I work really hard on remaining a clear channel, so I am continuously remaining aware of what my lower mind, my ego, is saying, and I'm dissolving it. I'm dissolving all the beliefs so that I can be an empty, clear vessel for the high frequency wisdom of the angels. So we're an energy match. The angels and I are in resonance together, and so that's why I channel them. I do actually also just recently I'm channeling the Arcturians, and so I also channel loved ones who have passed. I can channel people's guides. I can channel a person's soul. So as if I can just keep clearing my channel, keeping it clear, and doing the work on myself, and releasing anything that could be blocking me, so that I am absolutely authentic and real, then I can keep channeling these high frequencies. And so I take the work seriously, and I maintain awareness of myself, and I dissolve anything that could block me from being the light that I am. And so it's from that state I can really tune into high frequencies and give clear direction and messages and support to people.
Hmm. Are you open to sharing perhaps a message from the angels today, or is it more something that you do that with individuals when they present a challenge or a problem?
It's both. I'm really happy to channel today together as well.
Yeah, well, if you're open to that, I'd love to just create some space to do that.
Okay, wonderful. So I'll take a few breaths in and out and open up to the angels coming through. Dear beloved beings of light, we are here to remind you of you, the true essence of you. You have a mind, but you are not that mind. That mind is powerful and strong. And as you remember the truth of you, you can then consciously use your mind to interpret, understand, and explore and create in this incredible dimension where you find yourself being. You are consciousness, having a human experience. You are the infinite, having a finite experience. And the more you get comfortable with understanding this paradox, the more you're able to hold both sides of this, the infinite and the finite experience, the deeper your journey begins to unfold. When you're able to see yourself for the fullness of consciousness that you are, and at the same time enjoy the human experience, the miracle of being alive. And from that space, we want you to recognize the micro miracles that are happening in your daily life. You are intuitive because you are a soul, and it is your soul that is communicating into your body, in through to your lower mind. Remember that as you empty out and open up and expand your mind, you have more access to the higher frequency voice, which is your higher self, your soul. And from that space, you can access all answers. Pay attention to the way in which you perceive the world. Which of your 5 senses do you experience life through more strongly? We, the angels, communicate with you through your senses. All you need to do is ask. Ask that we show you signs, and then pay attention. The next person that gives you a message, a feather that you find when you're walking in the forest, a butterfly that lands on your shoulder. Pay attention to all the micro miracles, because it's all one big miracle. That you, an extremely expanded state of light, managed to condense your light into physical form to be a human. That is such a miracle. Be here. Be here now and receive the light that we are channeling through for you. Notice what sensations you feel in your physical body. There is something releasing and something expanding from that release. More light being held in your body. You have received deeply words and light and deep wisdom.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. As that comes through you, do you have a recollection of the things that you have said? Is that clear in terms of your memory or not as clear? How does that work for you?
In this very moment, I could quickly recall it, but it fades quite quickly. I remember 5% of what I channel. It kind of fades. So I often listen. It kind of fades. So, yeah.
You were articulating before the moment of channeling how you remain clear as a channel. And to my recollection, you said aware of your ego, aware of how you might be perceiving different things that might be more egoic, dissolving those things, remaining very connected to yourself. Are there any other uh, points of encouragement that you would have for those of us who are wanting to cultivate more of a clear channel for ourselves?
Yes. So, presence is the gateway to connect to your true self, and your physical body exists in the present moment. So, it's a portal. So, you can bring awareness into your physical body. And I truly believe that our challenges, our uncomfortable emotions, our um, hurtful thoughts that we think towards ourselves are gateways of portals. They're showing us where we have blockages and where we're stuck. So next time you have a difficult emotion or a thought pattern that's on repeat that's kind of putting you down or dimming your light, embrace it. Ask, where in my body do I feel the contraction or the discomfort? And go into that place in your body. And instead of trying to interpret and understand it with the mind, just invite the mind to be present with the sensations. You don't need to understand what's happening by the lower mind. The ego doesn't need to grasp everything, but to just be with it and breathe and be. And as you are with it, you might have tears, you might have um, sensations. It might get worse before it gets better. And that's okay. That's actually good. It means that you're having a deep release, and this is what we need to do. And so you sit with it, you embody it, you embrace it, and it takes you from, like, for example, anxiety, which is an uncomfortable emotion. It takes you from anxiety to its polarity, to its opposite frequency, and you go through that dark night of the soul. You go through that tunnel. You process all the energy and the thought patterns around it by witnessing it, and you end up coming out the other end into the opposite frequency of anxiety, which is freedom, liberation, feeling light, feeling peaceful. And so, one of the greatest tools is to accept whatever's in your field. It's not that you want to try to change your mind, it's that you want to observe your mind. Your mind is telling you what patterns you're harboring, it's telling you what conditioning you believe in. So, pay attention to it, pay attention to what contractions of fear you feel in your body. And you, the light that you are, the soul that you are, is so bright that it can release any of those traumas and those pains that you're holding on to, and it can completely set you free. The problem that most of us experience is that we're so scared of the unknown. We're fearful of going into our own pain. We resist it. We run away from it. But the gateway to deep healing is through acceptance and allowing. Allowing and acceptance is love, and love heals.
Thank you. I'm curious about your one on one sessions that if people want to connect with you online via Zoom and they're struggling with something, what are the most common presenting challenges or presenting problems that people come to you with? And how do you utilize different modalities to help them in these one on one sessions?
Many people come to me with physical symptoms, or they're feeling stuck or blocked in life, or they're struggling with their own mind, or they've got like things in the third dimension which are not flowing. So it's kind of an array of all the things we experience here. And then I use tuning in to their soul, so connecting to their soul, so I can hear directly from their soul where the root issue is. So, for example, if someone says to me, "I've got asthma," I'll start feeling it, and then I'll start going through their life, and I'll be shown things. So, for example, asthma, it's the heart chakra. I might be shown that when they were a little, like when they were, say, 7 years old, um, they experienced a trauma or a shock, or something changed in their life quite quickly, and so they didn't feel supported, and they didn't feel like they could support themselves, and they didn't feel love in that moment, and so something contracted, and they didn't feel like that the world, this third dimensional world, is supporting them, and so without feeling supported, they're not breathing in it. They can't receive that support. It gets blocked and stuck. So that's an example. And then, so I'll see the root from this lifetime. I also do past life regression, so I could see past lives that could be affecting this lifetime. And then I do ancestral healing. So then I could see that, oh, you've got a pain in your right shoulder, and because you're always trying to protect yourself because you don't feel that you're safe, or something like that. And then that could be from your great grandmother on your father's side because she went through something. And so the ancestors come through and they explain what they went through, and we do it. I use then Reiki to channel and dissolve it. And then I also work with all types of people that, even the skeptics, that people are like, because I don't push onto anyone. I'm just here. And if you're in resonance with me, come. And if you're not, I'm not the right one for you, then don't come. And so people will sometimes be on the outskirts thinking, okay, and then they're feeling my energy, and then they'll come and they'll be like, Natalie, I kind of don't believe in all this, but I'm open. And then when I'll meet them at that level. So I'll be able to see what their mind is saying to them, and what stories the mind has got them looping in, and then we can really work with like rewiring the mind, dissolving these outdated beliefs, bringing in new, accessing new energies and lights. So I mean, wow, and I do channel guidance, so people can come to me and they could ask me things like, I've been doing this. What's my next step? Or like, why am I blocked? Or like, what about my business? And like, I can give advice about like their logo, or their very next step in their business, or why they're blocked in their business. So it can be an array, a real deep array of support.
Beautiful. We have a lot of people that listen to our show who are healers or guides. And one of the things that I hear from people very often is the challenge of, I got into this because I want to bring healing, love, and transformation to the world. And yet we live in a world where I feel like I've got to be on social media so much in order to, I'm listening to so and so and they're saying I need to post 3 times a day and do it on every channel. And, how have you navigated that personally? That, okay, I've got my mission, but yet here are these platforms that I need to use in order to share that mission. And you are very um, mesmerizing, uh, connecting on video. I've watched your YouTube videos and you utilize that platform very well. And so talk us through that. How have you navigated that yourself?
I only do what I love. If my lower mind comes in and it says, you should post, I do not post. That's not when I post. I I give myself the permission to live life from my heart. Like, what is it that my soul wants to experience next? And the more I've done that, the less the programming has control over me, the less that ego can say, but you need to post and you need to do this. And I'm like, mm-mm. And so my advice is, do not ever respond when it's telling you you should and you have to, because that even sends out a frequency like that. And only post when you feel excited and inspired, like, oh, I've got this that I want to share with the world. And then you go and share it with the world. And not every healer wants to be in social media or wants to manage social media. So if you're a healer and a teacher and a guide, and that's where your passion is, then keep flowing with that passion, like that. And so when you follow the pulse of the love from your heart, it's going to guide you. And then there's someone else out there in the world who can do the marketing for you, and they're passionate about that and they'll enjoy that. So um it's really important, because what happens is we get inspired by our soul in spirit. We're in flow with spirit. We get an idea of what we want to create in this world, and we run with it. And it's our passion, it's our desire. There's a lot of light there. But then we start doing all the 3D things and like the admin and all that, and it gets clunky and heavy, and it lowers our frequency. And then that will be mirrored in our business. So when that starts to happen, just recognize, oh, my ego's getting involved. It's trying to run my business. I've got to clear that out and come back to the reason why I'm doing this. And then, yeah, get people to come in to support you. And they'll be doing what they love. Like for me and my team, each one of us, Bonnie, who's doing the admin, she loves doing that. Adri, who's doing my marketing, she loves doing that. And I get to create videos. And when I feel inspired, I put on my Instagram. And it's really growing authentically, because I'm the vibration of authenticity. I'm not running from a program telling me what I need to do. And I say, don't listen to what people are telling you about the algorithm or how much you need to post. This is a mind-made dream. As far as your mind can imagine is as far out as you can dream and create with your reality. So let yourself dream big and keep following your heart. And anytime you have that contraction and that control from the lower mind, pause, take a deep breath in and out, and choose not to respond.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've talked about the opportunity that people have to work with you one-on-one, also the courses that you have. We've mentioned Reiki. You also have courses on manifesting, but I'm curious about retreats. You have your own hotel. What the heck? Who has their own hotel? I love this.
I know, it's incredible. Here in Nicaragua, in the jungle, it's got a swimming pool at the top where you turn around after you've climbed up the stairs, and you just look, and there you got the ocean, and you can see sunset over the ocean. It's magical. And so I've been teaching a lot of my Reiki courses in person at Brio. Actually, this is fascinating. The hotel, we bought it with the name Brio. And then my husband and I were like, oh, should we change the name? We're like, well, let's Google, what does Brio mean? Brio means energy, sparkle, panache, and vibrancy. Now, my husband loves the chakra colors. And so Brio is all of those colors. Each room is a different chakra. And this is a space um, where we can come together and just be held by Mother Earth. And I love creating ceremonies like cacao ceremonies. We've got a fire pit where we can sit in ceremony around the fire. I'll teach yoga. My retreats, my courses, my workshops, they are very deep. So it's not a retreat where you'd come to explore Nicaragua and go surfing. There's great waves here, so you might want to dedicate time outside of the retreat to that. But we're not going outside to like explore the area. We're going inside. The retreat is all about me offering complete space and love for you to dissolve anything that's blocking you from you being the fullness of you, so that you can feel these incredible energies and have these spiritual expansive experiences that I have. I want everyone to have it. It's just I mean, I cry tears of love every time I finish teaching a course or something. I feel like I've become one with everyone. So I just open up the space for love, and I feel like my retreats are too big for my hotel. So I have to find a bigger place, a bigger venue for because many people want to come. And so yeah, I am busy working out what I'm going to do November 2026. I might do an in-person Reiki hub. I might do a retreat. I'm just giving the space and gonna see what arises.
And people can come and enjoy Brio whenever they would like, then not necessarily connected to a retreat, correct?
Exactly. Yes. So we've got 4 rooms that are on Airbnb, these beautiful chakra rooms, and people can come and be there, be in that space. I don't live on site, so um, they would have the space for themselves and whoever else is also staying there at the time, and just embrace the magic of Nika. It's so magical here. And then they just need to book me for a one-on-one session way in advance, because I have a waiting list to make sure. And I do in-person sessions still. So that's available.
I love that. What's the best place for people to connect with you, follow your work, book sessions with you?
There's 3 places. So one of the places is my website, natalienamaste.com. And I say spend some time there because there's free resources that are so helpful. On the homepage, there's a meditation you can sign up for, and then you'll be immediately included in my email community. And that meditation's powerful. It raises your frequency, clears blockages, connects you to your soul, creates healthy boundaries, all the things we need in order to find that balance here. And then just have a look through my website. You'll see the book now, and you'll see all the courses, all my offerings, and it's just from my heart. So you'll feel it when you're on my website. And then there's my YouTube, which is Natalie Namaste Healer, and I have such a loving community. People, we all write in the comments and support each other. And I channel energy updates about what's coming over the next few days or what you might be experiencing and tools to support you. And people can also ask me questions. And then I at the end of my videos, I do a channeled answers to questions. And then the third place is my Instagram, which is more about like daily tools and to work with being human. Like how am I a spiritual being having a human experience, and how do I navigate this? And so my Instagram is Natalie Namaste with an underscore at the end. And also, while you're there, go in and have a look at the highlight called numbers, because I channeled the angelic meaning of numbers, and so that many people love that. There's a lot of magic there.
Wonderful. If somebody's listening today and maybe they're just kind of dabbling in this whole world of spirituality. Maybe they were brought up in a home with more of a traditional religion, and they're trying to find their way. What encouragement would you give them?
Keep going. There is so much that is here for you in the present moment. Don't give up. You know, in those moments where you feel like this world is quite intense, or you're going through a challenge, there's something so strong inside of you. It's hope. And that hope is like a candle that lights up an entire cave. And then you realize, oh, wow, I'm in a crystal cave. And so no matter what you're going through and what other people might think, and just keep coming into your heart. The heart is such a wonderful access point to connect to your own soul, and don't give your power away to not even to me. Don't take everything I say as your belief. Rather, experience it. Like, if you're in resonance with what I'm saying, feel it. Feel your way through life. And because you are a soul and you have all the answers, and this is your life, and you have direct connection to source, because yes, you're a soul having a separate experience, but you're also source. You are the source that is feeding the light into the experience you're having. And so this spiritual journey, it's ever unfolding. It's like energy waves. There are ups, there are downs. Be with whatever arises, and know that whatever you're going through, you can get through, because you are a powerful light on earth.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Just appreciate your story, your wisdom. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you're doing in the world. Our world is a better place because you are serving with your gifts, and I just appreciate you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This has really been such a treat to spend this time together.
Thanks for listening to the Awaken Magazine podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and our other conversations, would you mind taking a moment to leave a 5-star review and maybe even a comment on Spotify or Apple Podcasts? That's one of the ways that you can give back to the show and help us reach more people. And of course, feel free to share the episode with a friend. And if you're not already on our email list, we send out an inspiring email every Monday morning full of articles and interviews. Just head on over to awakenedmagazine.com and click subscribe and join for free. Our hope is that all the resources we share will help our world continue awakening to love.